What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me for your weekend horoscope for the weekend of August 22nd and the 23rd of 2020. Brian here with Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you. Welcome to Virgo season. Leo season it's over. It's done. The lights are kind of turning off as the sun leaves the fire of Virgo, the heart, the passion, the illumination. And things get a little weird today, and through the weekend, it is just, things just get a little weird. But, there's a way out. I'm going to help you find that. So, we got the sun here, 00 Virgo, on top of Regulus. So, there is this heart and coming from this very pure place. Virgo is about the purity. It is about being of service to others. It is about coming from a place of love, and it is about grounding ourselves. And it's about finding the routine in our daily life that truly does align with our heart and truly does align with what we want. And how are we putting ourselves in the environment that we need? North Node, Gemini. So, and the North Node's important. It's very important this weekend because it's making great aspects to Mars. Both the nodes are. You get the trine to the south node and the sextile to the north node, while Mars is squaring Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn. This is about, it's taking a step back and figuring out exactly what structure and exactly what you want. With all this energy in Aries, it is about focusing on you right now. What aligns with you? What do you want? What environment do you want? What values do you want? Because Venus is starting to oppose Jupiter. It's going to oppose all the Capricorn energy. Things are about to get heated. Venus is going to come up and square Mars. It's not a very good line, but square Mars. And then, of course, our moon here today. This is where things get really rocky today if we're not living from the purity of our heart. Is that the moon in Libra is trying to find balance. But, of course, the moon's going to oppose Mars. And they're going to T-square Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn all today. So if you are not in a place of pure emotion, of coming from your soul and really standing in your light, today is going to rock people. Like, this Saturday is hard. This is one of the hardest days we've seen in a while. With Mars and the moon in opposition, squaring Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn, this is trying to figure out exactly how to take action for the emotions that bring you some sort of balance and don't govern you and hold you back. This is about standing and just being in your truth, whatever it is. You have to do what feels good to you today, or you're going to feel extremely, extremely restricted emotionally and energetically. Like, you're going to feel like you can't do what you need to do if you're not doing what actually aligns and brings you love and brings you happiness and makes you feel good. This day is hard. I'm just going to be completely real. Not only that, but the moon is going to semi-square Mercury. So again, if your head isn't in the right spot with what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, if you're not figuring out the little things in life that you could do to get a better environment, you're going to feel like there's no harmony. Like, there's absolutely no harmony today. So the way out is to, be regal. We're on the lion's heart. We're on the fixed star Regulus. This is important. This is really bringing like that regal king or queen vibe from within you, and knowing that like you do create what you want. You do create your reality. And if you think that the government is going to get you what you need, today's a reality check. Because it's not going to work that way. You have to come from the heart, and you have to be in a place of seeing the beauty within yourself and going towards what actually brings you a truth, what brings you comfort in your personal space, in your environment. Like, literally the room you stay in, the house you live in, the block that you live on. Anything outside of that space, I mean, if you're putting more, attention into that than necessary, you're going to get lost in the south node. I mean, it's just going to take you down this steep path. And we are in this place right now, coming up with the election and all this stuff, where, oh my gosh, more and more people are going to get sucked into this south node of beliefs and into politics and all sorts of crazy stuff. And honestly, from an astrological point of view, if you're not just focusing on your environment and taking action for the things that actually feel aligned with your truth and what makes sense in your immediate reality, and expressing from that point of view and finding facts, Saturday's going to be rough. It could feel like an emotional black hole. And it's all the pressure on, what are you this is like a rebirth day. There's a point today where it's just heavy. It's heavy energy with all this Capricorn. Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn squaring the moon. And it doesn't even get easier, because we move right into Sunday. And, the moon moves into fall position in Scorpio. So here we are with the moon at fall, but what we do get is we get a sextile to the sun in Virgo. So if we're staying in a pure place emotionally and really bringing up truth, Scorpio is about bringing up the truth. Scorpio is about coming from deep within and listening to that deep intuition and going for that call. If you're in that space, I mean, Sunday can be a little bit more of a light, but again, it's getting hard. And Mercury's coming up on a trine. It's coming into next week too. So this is building too, where I want to erase so I can get Mercury here. That trine to Uranus and Taurus. This is information coming really quick. It's really electric, and it's about, what you really value in your life. And, values could shift big time. But with this trine, it's kind of friendly. So at the same time, when Uranus can be so unexpected, this time it's going to feel like, this really does make sense. Like, I need to do this in my physical life to bring myself the comfort that I need. Because Venus is trying to be comfortable here in Cancer, trying to bring that, like, family vibe, that home vibe, that, like, safety, that, because that's the thing with values, right? Values are physical a lot of the time. Like, they can be emotional, but, like, a lot of times it's like, what do you value physically? Venus rules the money. So this is getting real weird as we come up on all this Capricorn energy. It's a weird time. This weekend's heavy. So, I was saying earlier this week, like, these last few days of Leo, figure out what you need to feel comfortable, figure out what you need, because now it's just these we're getting ready for a slap in the face a little bit. Because the moon is not doing well. Like, emotions can feel really off, and really, we can almost feel dead inside in Scorpio. So it's hard there if we're not really bringing out that truth and going into the transformations that we truly desire. It's heavy. And then we get the exact square tomorrow for Sunday with Saturn and Mars. The exact square, 26 degrees. But Mars is also making the exact sextile and the exact trine to the nodes. This is, if you're not taking action for your environment and your destiny, and if you're not even pulling, like, your spiritual beliefs, because Sag can rule, is spiritual, and it rules religion too. But it's almost like, if you're believing in something that you don't, have the facts for, and the facts don't have to necessarily be on a piece of paper, but that you can feel these. You can feel them. You have to check yourself and make sure that you're really feeling what is true to you and what feels right and what feels destined. This is a destiny moment of, like, where we put our action, because it's going to feel like it's going to feel so restrictive for a while with this energy. This weekend really kicks off this big energy. And, it truly is the more, the more we can find the purity and stay in our heart. That's always the trick, is to be in that heart space and not get lost outside, because we're coming into so much deception here with Neptune at 20. But what's going to happen here is we're going to get the moon is going to make a trine over to Neptune. So that's good. And then we're also going to get the trine to Venus. And then Venus is coming up. So there's this is building this weekend to where what you really need to step into is listening to that intuition and finding the emotions that really do make you feel comfortable and aligned with your values, and with, tuning into the guides, the signs, spirit, all of that stuff will make all the difference in the world. But if you're stuck on this physical structure that's literally collapsing, and I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but this is like, it is the election. The election is just like a big thing to keep everybody divided. Like, I'm sorry. And I know that's triggering to some people, but don't divide yourself right now. Like, and honestly, you got to do things for yourself that make sense in your life. Like, focusing on the just like the state, or if you're in another country, I mean, I guess this doesn't really apply to you, but at the same time, like, focusing on the whole country right now isn't even where it's at. We're working on ourselves right now. Chiron in Aries. That's the time we're in right now. And it's going to be there for a while. Like, this is healing ourselves. So the more that we can focus on ourselves, focus on our love, focus on the purity within ourselves, and figure out routines and things that really do tap us into where we need to go and to our truth, the better we're going to feel this weekend, or else it's going to feel really weird. Really weird. Because the moon is also in Scorpio here. It's going to make an opposition to Uranus. So while Uranus is working on a nice trine over to Mercury, emotionally, we can feel like something is just taken from us. Like a physical thing just gets snatched away, and emotionally it hurts. Unless you're willing to really focus on what does bring you the truth and what does bring you the value. And I think Uranus and Taurus is redefining all of our values right now. For the rest of the time Uranus is here, like, this is like, I mean, it's since Uranus has been in Taurus, like, thrift shopping, like, has come, about, like, in a way bigger, thing than it ever was before. I have a friend who has a wife, and she, like, makes a huge, like, YouTube and does great, just flipping stuff from thrift stores. Like, it's so Uranus and Taurus. That's where we're at right now, and it's about being unique in our values and unique in the physical life, and what actually, we got to think outside the box. Like, Uranus is asking us to figure out how to make our reality and our world what we need it to be right now, because there's huge changes going on, and Uranus is kind of like the saving grace in a way. And it's too bad he's retrograde right now, because where he could really pull us and, like, have us, like, learn more, well, he's offline right now. So he's making us learn lessons, which makes this time that we're coming into even more difficult. Because it's we're going to get some decent transits here in Virgo. Virgo's not all bad. But at the same time, the sun is going to square the nodes coming up at the end of Virgo. That is going to be a trip. So this weekend is really about getting into your truth, getting into the love, getting into your heart. I know I say this all the time. I sound like a broken record probably, but I don't know how else to say it. Like, these transits are so hard. Like, Capricorn is insane right now. It is truly the stellium of intense change to everything we've ever known or were brought up to believe was true. Like, we went to school, our parents taught us from a young age, all these things that we're supposed to do in this reality to, like, reach the top and to reach our goals, and, like, what the structure and what the rules were, and the whole book is getting rewritten. And it's getting rewritten, like, the big time this year. So days and weekends like this are hard, but at the same time, they really force you to step into what aligns with you. So when this weekend gets hard, when it feels like, it's just, there's no way out, like, that's when you got to make the hard choice and do what really feels right inside your soul. And, ask your guides, ask spirit, Ask God for help and guidance, and you will receive it, and He will put you on your path. And we're all going to need to step into that space, because we're about to see some crazy things go down in the physical world. And I don't know how they're going to manifest, like, I'll be honest with you, but I feel it intensely. And the astrology shows it. We don't just get like a Mars retrograde in Aries square Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn in Capricorn every year. And we don't even get, Saturn and Jupiter in the same sign, unless it's every 20 years. So this is a big time for us. The King of Wands, King of Rods. If we're not stepping into our true heart, our true passion, our true love, and really owning our love and coming from a place of purity within ourselves, we're not going to be able to take action for the environment that we desire right now, for the life that we want, for everything that we need. We have to be the king and the queen. We have to step into our power. We are on Regulus today when I'm putting this out here. And it is in Virgo now, but it is still the heart of the lion, and it is still coming from that true regal king Leo energy. And it's still time to embody that, because today is a mess with our emotions and finding the balance and the harmony in our life. But if you're taking action for the things that truly make you feel like a king or a queen and putting you on that throne, and you feel it and you know that you're going towards your truth and your destiny, could be a rocket ship to that place. So it's a big weekend. It could feel hard, but how you get through it and how you deal with it is going to shape so much moving forward. So I love you all very much. Have a great weekend. Make it the best you can. Stay in your truth, stay in your love, stay in your heart, and I'll see you next time. Peace.